All right, we're back for another one, y'all. I'm back for another one. Let me see. I just hate my computer. It updated and then it messed up my script. It messed up my script, so I don't know. I might have to freestyle it. Let me see what y'all doing on YouTube. And it changed a lot of my settings. So hopefully it didn't change my settings for how YouTube look. Yeah, it look like they changed what YouTube look like. Cause I like the dark background. I don't like the white background because it bothers my eyes. Let me see. All right, we still got the dark background. We still got the dark background. All right. I know the app I use to help me write my script. It changed, and I don't have time to be going through all that. Let me see. All right, let me try to get some people in here. Get people in here from X first. I'm starting off with X. See, could I get some people from off of X? And this is the thing that brought me up. People be thinking that I find people that agree with me. No, my thing is I want people that are fans of. Oh man, my computer messed up everything. It messed up everything. I can't even sign into X. I can't even. Let me see. I can't even sign into Twitter. It's trying to make me sign into my account that I don't use. I can't use. It ain't that I don't use it. I can't use it. Let me see. Hopefully, it let me sign in. Oh, there. Let me see. It's not it. Um. Mm, and I don't even have my phone for me to sign in. I don't even have my phone. Dang. Daggone. Let me see. That at least could I get? Yo, that's crazy. That's crazy. Let me see. So that means because I only got three tabs open, so I gotta go back through all my other stuff because I don't write down my thing because they're saved. So now, because for some reason that it did not save. Oh boy, here we go. And I don't got a phone, so my phone can't tell me like proof that it's me. So, because my phone screen is damaged, I got to get it fixed tomorrow. Let me try Facebook. Let me see. Is Facebook working? Nah. Oh, Facebook. It saved my word. Hopefully it saved it. Which let me see what you looking like. Come on, Facebook look like it's still working. I mean, I don't have problems with it so far. And it still got my dark dad to X. All right, give me a second. Let me see something. Oh, I know how I could do this. I could read my script off one of my things. But give me a second, y'all. I'm trying to get people in here. Let me see anybody pop in yet. Oh, what's up, Legendary Boxing 2026? Salute. Boxing Lounge. Salute. Appreciate you. I'm trying to get some people in. I'm gonna go to go on my LinkedIn account. My LinkedIn account signed me out too. What the heck is going on? Daggone Google. My whole Google page reset and it logged me out of everything. That's crazy. Do I still got my dark? No, I don't even got my dark background for LinkedIn. Let me see something more fast. All right. Oh yeah. I agree. I think I'm gonna use my Blogger post, but did Blogger sign me out too? No, Blogger didn't sign me out. I don't know if that's a good or bad. All right. Let me see what's going on in the chat. Yeah. All right. Let me get this show started. Hope y'all can hear me. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? I got 3 people here. Hopefully y'all can hear me. All right. Okay. Let me read this. Poe and the Community Speaks, episode 241. The future of boxing games, game development, and why gamers are demanding more. Why gamers are demanding more. More so, boxing gamers. Boxing gamers are demanding more. And this is something I know it's going to get a lot of people in their feelings, and a lot of people are going to be feel that I'm coming at them, but I'm not. And I've been saying this for I think all week. The UFC guys, they're very passionate about the UFC. And you have some of them that's interested in boxing games. But I see how passionate they are. It's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with that. But the problem, it becomes a problem when people like me are passionate about boxing. And I want boxing to be represented accurately with more detail, more depth, more modes, more features. Just like what y'all want for UFC. Y'all want it represented. Y'all want an authentic, realistic sim experience. You see, I mixed that in, the authentic, realistic sim. Don't let nobody just put authentic, because that's when they're framing it. When they say authentic, look at them sideways. Look at them sideways, because that's the word the industries has found a way to misuse. That's a word that the industry found a way to misuse. And please don't say, how do you know? How do I don't know? Just because you're not paying attention or you're not asking the right questions, don't put that on me. Don't put that on me. All right. The future of boxing games, game development, and why gamers are demanding more. What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Poe and the Community Speaks. This is episode 241. Today, we are talking about the state of boxing games, the gaming industry, realism versus arcade gameplay, publishers, investors, community frustration, and why so many gamers feel unheard. And I know a lot of this stuff's kind of sound repetitive, but it's not. And all I'm doing is opening up doors for y'all to have things to talk about. This episode is going to be direct, honest, and community driven, because a lot of people in the boxing game space, sports gaming space, and game development scene are tired of being ignored. Let's get into it. Boxing gamers have changed. One thing publishers, investors, and executives keep failing to understand is that sports gamers are not the same gamers from 15 or 20 years ago. And I would say a little farther back than 20 years ago. But that's the yard that I'm using. I mean, that's the 15 and 20 years ago. I'm using that. All right. The audience has evolved. People grew up. Technology evolved. Expectations evolved. Gamers do not just want flashy punches, exaggerated knockouts, and button mashing anymore. Game authenticity and realism. I got to put them both together. Authenticity, realism, and sim. Immersion, realism, realistic strategies, mechanics, presentation, atmosphere, and career depth. People want to feel like they are actually inside the sport. And boxing fans, especially, are demanding realism because boxing itself is one of the most technical sports in the world. Footwork matters, timing matters, distance matters, conditioning matters, defense matters, ring IQ matters, momentum matters. A realistic boxing game is not too ambitious. It is what many fans have been asking for all this long time. Let me see what y'all saying in the chat. Y'all ain't saying nothing in the chat. All right. Excuse me. All right. The myth that boxing games cannot survive without licensed boxers. The myth that boxing games cannot survive without licensed boxers. Now let's address another major conversation. There are people in the industry who act like a boxing game cannot survive without massive license. Give me a second. Rosters filled with superstar boxers. The reason why I paused because I got a pop out screen and I was overlapping some words. All right. That mindset is outdated. Gamers support gameplay first. Gamers support gameplay first. If any company come out with a game with great gameplay, that catches fans' attention more than just names. Real names. That catch fans' attention more than real names. Gamers support gameplay first. If the gameplay is deep, realistic, polished, playable, competitive, and rewarding, people will play it. Look at other games. Look at other genres. There are racing games without every real car brand. Fighting games with original characters. Football management games without official licenses. Indie sports games, simulation games. People support quality. Without licensed boxers would licensed boxers help marketing? Of course. But acting like a boxing game automatically dies without every major boxer is simply not true. A strong gameplay foundation matters more long-term than celebrity faces. Free-to-play boxing games. Now, this is where the conversations get controversial. Let me see did y'all start talking yet? All right, no. This is where the conversation get controversial. Could a realistic boxing game survive as a free-to-play title? I believe yes, but only if it respects the community. The problem is not free-to-play itself. The problem is predatory monetization. There is a massive difference. If a game launches free-to-play with cosmetic DLC, trunks, gloves, ring, entrances, hairstyles, tattoos, arenas, commentary packs, career customization, presentation upgrades, that can work, especially if gameplay remains fair and competitive. That's the part that makes me the fair part. Boxing is not fair. Boxing is not fair. If you want the game to replicate boxing, boxing is not fair. It's strategic. In strategy, there's no fairness in it. It's up to you to use your brain. Oh, this guy punch hard. What am I going to do? Oh, this guy is fast. What I'm going to do? Oh, this guy has good footwork. What am I going to do? Not we both had the same thing. It's even down the, hey, we both could do the same thing. No, 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 that's not what boxing is. Boxing is using your brain. Boxing is chess. Boxing is chess or high level checkers, whatever however you want to call it, but it's high level. Especially if gameplay remains fair and competitive. I hate that. See that setup. All right. But once a company starts locking core gameplay system, stats, balancing, I hate that word, balancing advantages or pay to win, mechanics behind money, that is where the community turns against it. But once a company start locking core gameplay systems, stats, balancing advantages, or pay to win mechanics behind money, that's where the community turns against it. Okay. And there's another thing people ignore. Here's another thing people ignore. Cosmetics can help pay fighters, trainers, promoters, commentators, and licensing costs. Some fans want everything free, but real boxers and real talent deserves compensation. A healthy ecosystem has to support the people involved. A healthy ecosystem has to support the people involved. Why VR boxing games will struggle compared to traditional boxing games? Why VR boxing games will struggle compared to traditional boxing games? And no hate, this is not intentional for Boxing Fanatical and the game that he deals with. This is another conversation the community has been debating heavily. VR boxing games are cool technical showcases. VR games are cool technology showcases, but they are niche compared to traditional console and PC boxing games. Why? Accessibility. More people do not own VR headsets. I don't think nobody will still buy it, even if they were super cheap. I don't think if they came with a game, I don't think people will still play it. Most people do not want to stand for hours during long gaming sessions. Most people want to sit down with a controller and play career mode, online multiplayer, tournaments, universe mode, and couch matches. VR is immersive, but immersive alone does not guarantee mainstream success. Now, could VR exist as an optional mode instead of a traditional boxing game? Absolutely. That makes far more sense. It does. It should be something that, like, hey, I guess I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna play this mode. It should be an option. It should be an option for a regular game. Give players multiple ways to experience the game instead of forcing the entire game around VR limitations. The gaming industry hiring problem. Now let's talk about something bigger than boxing games. The gaming industry has a major hiring and leadership problem. A lot of studios are built around inexperienced leadership, trend chasing, corporate pressure, and short-term thinking. Short-term thinking. Let me say that one more time. Short-term thinking. Meanwhile, veteran developers with experience in gameplay systems, animation, physics, AI, networking, and sports logic are being overlooked or laid off. Then companies wonder why projects fall apart. Ambition is not the problem. Poor planning is the problem. Lack of experienced leadership is the problem. Hiring people who do not understand the genre is the problem. If you're building a realistic boxing simulation, you need people who understand combat sports, physics, animation blending, defensive systems, AI behavior, stamina systems, damage systems, audio presentation, broadcast presentation, sports psychology. This genre is extremely difficult. You cannot fake authenticity or realism or simulation. Players will notice immediately. Players would notice immediately. Community. All right, this the some questions I'm gonna answer. Let me see what y'all said in the chat. How many people I got in here? 3. All right. All right, somebody sent me this. I'm tired of publishers forcing arcade mechanics into every sports game because they think realism scares casual players. Me, exactly. Realism and accessibility can coexist. Games can have simulation sliders, difficulty assists, arcade modes, hybrid modes, realistic modes, all in one package. Players should have options. Forcing every game into an arcade style limits the audience. Developers keep saying realistic boxing is impossible, but fans are asking for deeper mechanics every year. Developers keep saying realistic boxing is impossible, but fans are asking for deeper mechanics every year. That's a question. That's because technology keep evolving. What seems impossible years ago is more achievable now. Advanced animation systems, machine learning assistance, motion matching, procedural movement, physics systems, and modern hardware are open doors that did not exist before. The challenge is resources, talent, and execution, not imagination. Question 3. Why are so many developers scared to communicate with the community? And this is a good question. Thanks for sending this question. Why are so many developers scared to communicate with the community? And I'm pretty sure this Don D sent this question. Because modern gaming communities are frustrated. People are tired of unfinished launches, misleading marketing, ignored feedback, and broken promises. But communication only makes things worse. Transparency matters. Developers and studios that communicate honestly usually build stronger communities over time. That didn't answer your question, Don D. I'm gonna give you more to that. The reason why a lot of developers don't say anything, like when they come and watch this podcast and my YouTube, is because if they respond, what's going to happen is they're going to get bombarded by the fan base, because they might not even be making a boxing game. They just want to see how much traction a boxing game will get. So they monitor, they listen to what I'm saying. They listen, see how the fans react, and all of that. A lot of them just like to hear the ideas that I put out there. They love the ideas that I put out there. So to me, that's a good thing. And then to answer your part about why don't they bring me on? Yeah, that is why don't y'all bring me on? I'm asking y'all, why don't y'all bring me on? Why don't y'all let me be a part of your team? I'm not begging. I'm just asking y'all, why didn't I get that offer? I'm not begging or asking. I just want to know, why didn't I never get that offer? In some form or some fashion. All right. Now let me read the answer that I written out. Because modern boxing games communities are frustrated. People are tired of unfinished launch. What am I doing? I'm I'm so just ignore what I just said. Not the part about I was talking about me. I was just reading something. I read that and then I came to my own conclusion. At the end of the day, gamers are not asking for perfection. They are asking for effort. And I hate saying that. We're just asking for effort because movement is effort. Any type of movement is effort. No, we don't want just movement. Because your movement could be I'm going to the water cooler or anything. Or I'm just sitting here moving around, twirling my pencil or something. Or you're just looking through your files or on the internet communicating with somebody. That's not what we want. When I say effort, give us what games should be in this era. Give us what games should be in this era. They are asking for authenticity, realism, simulation. They are asking to feel respected as consumers and fans. The future of sports games, especially boxing games, belong to studios willing to take realism seriously while still making games accessible and fun. And honestly, the industry needs more developers who are willing to aim higher instead of immediately saying something is impossible. Because if nobody pushes the genre forward, the genre stays stagnant. Let me see. Give me a second, y'all. Excuse me. Let me see what y'all saying in the chat. What's up? I'm precisely salute. Appreciate you coming through. Let me see. What's up, Box Out View? Salute. Appreciate you coming through. Appreciate y'all, man. Let me see. Appreciate everybody that's giving me support. Why do publishers keep underestimating boxing games? And this is something that I always ask too. Why do they underestimate boxing games? And I think it's intentional because I feel like a lot of these companies intentionally degrade what boxing is. They lower what boxing should be, and they look at it from a fighting game perspective on purpose because they don't want that boxing. They don't want to have to rack their brain to satisfy boxer fans, which is stupid to me. my thing is they don't want to rack their brains. They don't want to have to do all this extra work doing research, asking questions. But a good developers, all these great developers that's making these great games, they do their research. Battlefield, they do their research. Baseball, they do their research. All these game companies do their research. And y'all scared to do a little more work, and that's the problem. Why do publishers keep underestimating boxing games? Because a lot of executives only look at old sales data instead of current demand. They look at old sales data instead of current demand. They compare modern boxing games to older era without recognizing how much gaming culture has changed. Streaming, esports, content creation. Give me a second, y'all. Give me a second, please. Give me a second. All right, y'all. Apologize about that. I had to give my mother some water. Heard her in the cough, and I had to give her some water. Um, Let me see. Yeah, I know what I'm gonna do. Instead of reading these questions, I'm gonna read something that I wrote, and this is going to get a lot of people upset. This is gonna get a lot of, and already got people putting eye emojis by this post when I posted. When UFC fans overstep the disrespect towards hardcore boxing fans, when UFC fans overstep the disrespect towards hardcore boxing fans, please don't take this as any type of shots, no gatekeeping or anything. Hear me out when I read this. Stop getting in your feelings about this, because y'all getting y'all feelings when boxing fans speak about their sport. All right. Boxing has a long, storied history that spans over a century. The legends, rivalries, and cultural significance of the sport run deep, forming a community of fans who study the sport as much as they watch it. Hardcore boxing fans know the boxers, the strategies, the gems, and even the subtle habits that define a boxer's style. This is not casual admiration. It is deep, passionate engagement with a craft that has evolved over decades. Sometimes I feel like I'm reading the same thing over because I read this, read stuff. So hopefully, I hope I didn't read this in my past shows. I probably rewritten something that I already written, but I apologize if I did. And y'all let me know in the chat if I already talked about this or spoke about this. Yet, when MMA and UFC content creators step into the conversation, boxing fans often feel a distinct disrespect. The pattern is familiar. The announcement of a UFC or MMA video game sparks a wave of supposed experts who suddenly become historians and analysts of the sport. Every fight becomes a case study. Every fighter a textbook example of strategy and skill. Social media fills with breakdowns, debates, and tutorials. However, the same voices that claim deep knowledge of MMA often dismiss hardcore boxing fans who ask for for comparable respect for their sport. If a boxing video game is announced, these UFC-centric fans frequently portray boxing enthusiasts as gatekeepers or overly demanding, simply for expecting authenticity, realism, and death. Yet, the irony is clear. UFC fans want every detail, mechanic, and nuance of MMA faithfully represented in their games. They celebrate the intricacies of grappling, striking, transitions, and fight strategy. When boxing fans request similar detailed simulations of footwork, ring control, fight tendencies, and historical boxers, it is treated as unnecessary or obsessive. And that's true. That is 100% true. Let me see what y'all saying in the chat. Let me see what y'all saying in the chat. All right, let me see. All right. The double standard is not only disrespect, it is dismissive of decades of dedication and knowledge. Boxing fans do not ask for authenticity as a form of superiority. They ask for recognition of the sport's complexity, history, cultural weight, the same respect that MMA fans demand for their games should naturally extend to boxing. In essence, it is not about gatekeeping, it's about equity in how sports are represented celebrated, and understood in media and games. Boxing fans are not trying to undermine MMA or UFC. They are asserting that the sport they love deserves the same attention, the same fidelity, and the same reverence for any content creator, journalist, or gamer, acknowledging that is the first step towards genuine respect. Boxing is more than punches. It is strategy, legacy, and artistry. Ignoring that in favor of comparative hierarchy of fan value over highlights only, hierarchy over fans value only highlights the ignorance of those who claim expertise without humility. Hardcore boxing fans are not gatekeepers. They are custodians of a tradition that deserves to be treated with the same reverence that MMA fans receive. It's no hate. It's just that I've seen it. I noticed it that there are people in the community that are MMA fans. And their thing is they want people like me to be quiet and other people to be quiet that want boxing to be represented. They say, oh, that's too much. Oh, we don't need that. No, we don't need that. You're not a boxing fan. You're not a boxing fan. How are you going to tell us what we need? You're not really a boxing fan. You're a visitor. You are a visitor. Why are you making demands? Why are you even saying anything? That's like you walking in my house telling me, hey, what's that doing on the floor? You don't live here. You don't live here. So how are you asking me anything? A lot of y'all be trying to shut people down or make them seem like they're ignorant. And what makes it so bad, when people like me speak, I'm not speaking as just a fan. I'm speaking as a person that actually boxed. I'm speaking as a person, I'm going to keep saying it. Because a lot of y'all don't get it. A lot of y'all don't get it. A lot of y'all just don't get it. I'm not trying to gatekeep or anything, but you can't tell me what to say about my sport. Blood, sweat, and tears. Literally. Blood, sweat, and tears, and broken bones. Torn ligaments. And torn ligaments. So stop telling somebody they're asking for too much when I know what this era is capable of. I know what developers can do. If they tell you anything different, they're lying. If they're telling you anything different, they're lying. Now, my thing is, I had a script wrote out because I was going to talk about, it was about identity. My thing is, what is the identity of Undisputed going to be? We need to know that immediately. We need to know that immediately so we can make a decision. So we can make our own decision. Don't force us into something that we don't want. Let us make a decision. And my thing, if I had a reason to, if I could make the decision and they say, Paul, what do you think? And I will say the default game should be Hardcore Sim. The default game should be Hardcore Sim. It should represent boxing to its core. Then you layer on accessibility. You layer on accessibility after that. That's when you start putting the controls in for people that want a hybrid, for the people that want to play arcade. And you actually put sliders in it too, so we could tune it, so we could fine tune the game. In this day and era, mostly every sports game has sliders, gameplay sliders, tendency sliders, capability sliders. All these, we got sliders now. And it makes sense. It makes sense. And this is the thing that gonna really flip people out. Unreal Engine makes it easier to add sliders in the game. A plethora of sliders. So there's no excuse. Y'all stop talking about y'all engines, and then people are old enough to do their research about the engines. I already know about Unreal Engine. I already knew what Unreal Engine was capable of. So anything that y'all miss, any excuse that y'all make, I got a counter for it. I have a counter for it. Any excuse that y'all make, I could show the community that it can be done. I could show the developers that can help it get done. So y'all need to start adding things to these games. And my thing is, when you make the game that fans want, you sell more games. And like I said, I made the blueprint. I did the math and everything. If you make the game the way it's supposed to be made and what most fans want, you will have $1 billion game in 1 year, in months. In months, you will have $1 billion selling game, multi-billion-dollar selling game. You were on target to do that with the ESBC version of the game. You was on target to do that. And it's not just me just saying that. Other people that's in the industry, they saw it. They thought it was going to be Game of the Year. They thought the ESBC version was going to be Game of the Year. Other developers, they said, oh man, this is going to be Game of the Year. It looked like this got potential to be Game of the Year. So stop. It's just annoying. We gotta stop holding each other back. We gotta stop holding each other back. And my thing, I appreciate everybody that's like we doing now. Box Eye View been here like almost every day. Box Eye View been here every day. Crook's been here almost every day. Appreciate that. That's us supporting each other. Knowing Block Solo gets in here when he can. That's supporting everybody. That's supporting each other. My thing is just pop in and pop out. You don't gotta stay. You might not like my voice, or you might feel that I'm repeating myself. Pop in and pop out. It shouldn't be a one-way thing. I supported you, and you feel like that's good enough. No, we got to keep supporting each other. We got to keep supporting each other. And shout out to Harvey Fofi. Shout out to Harvey Fofi. He comes in here a lot and he shadow watches. Shout out to Harvey Fofi. Shout out to the Wishlist Mafia. Shout out to Papanosis. Shout out to Don D205. You can catch him at 10:22 p.m. Central Time, 10:22 p.m. Central Time, Don D 205. And you can catch him on his Instagram, Don D 205 TV. And you can catch him on X, Don D 205. Support him. Support him. Let's support each other. And shout out to Claimer and Cut. Shout out to Love Seat Shorty. Shout out to Leafy. Shout out to AJ Pax. You know, shout out to all of y'all, man. Shout out to Jay Shep. Shout out to Donnie from the Discord. Shout out to I'm forgetting. JMMA. Shout out to Dark Side. You know, let me see what. Shout out to Boxing Fanatical. Shout out to all of y'all, man. Shout out to Woke. Shout out to Woke. Appreciate you. Yo, like I was saying, I'm gonna end this like probably like 3 to 4 minutes earlier. Now I'll probably just do 3 quick questions so I could get the 1 hour in. But no, I just say after I do the questions, I'm gonna finish doing these questions, and then I'll finish. All right. Let me see. Do you think investors hurt sports games? Not automatically. And I'm pretty sure I answered this question yesterday, but I'm going to answer it again. Not automatically. Good investors can actually help a project tremendously. The problem happens when investors only care about short-term profits, and that's the problem. And start interfering creatively without understanding the genre. This is where you get rush launches, forced monetizations, unrealistic deadlines, stripped down features, and games released before they are ready. Investors. Games released before they are ready. A good investor supports the long-term vision. A bad investor tries to force quick returns at the expense of quality, and gamers can feel that immediately. And my thing is, y'all got to stop asking for the game. And people are saying, hey, we need a trailer. We get a trailer. Guess what's going to happen after that? Once we get a trailer, fans are going to beg for the game. They're going to keep asking for the game. And guess what's going to happen? The investors is going to put pressure on Ash and the team. Then we're going to get another broken game, another incomplete game. So I'm not in a rush to get a trailer. I'm not in a rush to get a trailer. Because once we see something, fans gonna act like in the most respectful way possible. Fans are gonna go act like little kids and little girls. They're gonna want it immediately. You know, please don't think I'm saying it as chauvinistic or anything, or talking down on younger people, the younger generation. That I'm not. But kids do get excited. They can't wait. And yet I can say it this way: some females are very impatient. They can't wait. And yeah, some of the males too, especially modern and the males over the last 25 to 30 years. Yes, I get that. Why are so many gamers rejecting arcade sports games now? This is a good one. Good question. Whoever sent that, salute. Appreciate you. Why are so many gamers rejecting arcade sports games now? Because many gamers grew up with the sport itself. People study boxing now. They watch breakdown videos. They understand footwork. They understand ring IQ. They understand fence, counters, stamina management, and defensive movement. So when a game ignores all of that and turns boxing into nonstop haymakers with unrealistic stamina, it breaks immersion. That does not mean arcade games cannot exist, but the industry made a mistake assuming realism has no audience. Clearly, it does. Clearly, it does. I'm gonna read this one right here, and this sounds like it could be weird. Could AI help developers make better boxing games? And this is a question that a lot of people they're gonna be mad. They're gonna be mad. This is a controversial question. Let me see how I'm gonna answer it. AI could become a powerful tool if used correctly, not as a replacement for developers, as assistance. AI can potentially help with animation blending, crowd reactions, dynamic commentary. Dynamic commentary. We don't need you, Todd Grisham. Todd, my God. But I like Todd as a person. I like Todd, Todd is a good person. But the commentary that he says about boxing sounds very, very artificial and casual. It sounds like a casual fan commentate. He sounds like what he's saying belongs in the UFC. And WWE. All right. AI can help with career mode storytelling, boxer tendencies. See that? Boxer AI can help with boxer tendencies, training simulations, opponent behavior, statistical balancing. I hate that word. Statistical balancing, procedural movement systems. We need this. Procedural movement management. But AI still needs talented developers directing everything. But AI needs talented, keyword, talented developers directing everything. AI without skilled leadership becomes chaos. The human vision still matters. Excuse me. Let me see what y'all saying here. And did I go over my hour? Not yet. What's up, Lamont Davis? Salute. That's who I didn't shout out. Lamont Davis. Shout out to Lamont Davis, 89. Appreciate you coming through, man. You popping in is good enough for me. Let me know you're good. You popping in is just good enough for me, my brother. All right. Why are gamers becoming more hostile toward developers? A lot of it comes from disappointment piling up over years, broken launches, microtransactions, missing features, false promises, roadmaps that never happen, game releasing unfinished. People become frustrated when they feel ignored repeatedly. Now, obviously, harassment and toxicity are wrong, but criticism itself is not hate. Studios have to separate toxic behavior from genuine community feedback. Sometimes the harshest criticism contains real concern the studio needs to hear. Should boxing games focus more on offline modes? Absolutely. I know y'all don't want to hear that. I know y'all don't want to hear that. Because a lot of y'all don't think offline should matter, even exist. Should boxing games focus more on offline modes? Absolutely. Online is important, but offline content gives games longevity. People want deep career modes, promoter systems, training camps, rivalries, press conference, rankings, championships, injuries, contracts, dynamic storylines, legacy system, historical modes. A boxing game should feel like living the life of a boxer, not just winning random matches online. The emotional investment matters. All right, let me read this. I'm gonna read one more. So that means I read 10. Do graphics matter more than gameplay? Graphics help sell the first impression. Gameplay determines whether players stay. Gameplay determines whether players stay. You can have the most photorealistic boxing game ever made, but if the punches feel bad, movement feels stiff, AI feels dumb, career mode feels empty, players will move on quickly. Gameplay is king, always, but ideally, developers should aim for both. Yeah. This is another good question. I got to answer this one. Why do some studios avoid ambitious features? Why do studios avoid ambitious features? Fear, budget concerns, technical limitations, publisher pressure. It's more so the publisher pressure and the investor pressure, time constraints, and sometimes lack of experience. Ambitious systems are difficult. Dynamic physics are difficult. Realistic AI is difficult, not really. Advanced career modes are difficult, not really. But gamers respect ambition when they see genuine effort. Even imperfect ambition often earns more respect than safe mediocrity. All right, y'all. Appreciate all of y'all for coming through. Especially Lamont Davis, man. You made my day. Salute. Appreciate you. Shout out to Don D again. Shout out to the Wishlist Mafia. Shout out to Papanosis. Shout out to Vlad. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to the Habib brothers. Shout out to the Habib family. You know, shout out to Still City, man. Bumpy. Shout out to Still City. You know, shout out to and I know y'all gonna get everybody gonna say what? Shout out to EA and shout out to 2K. Appreciate y'all. And it's a reason why I'm putting them out. Man, you would come with you. It's like you was waiting in the cut. It was like you was waiting in the cut and say, oh, he about to log off. Let me jump in here. What's up, man? What's up? Aaron, what's up, man?
My bad for rolling in late. I was looking for my wallet for like the last 30 minutes. And my wife was trying to help me, but I'm not even old, okay? but I be acting like I got dementia or something. Like I just be acting like I can't remember nothing. So
And the wallet was
it
right
was in
by
my
you.
jacket, right? Huh? Like
I'm
I'm looking all
laughing.
over the place. I'm looking in our bed. I'm looking in the backyard. I'm thinking my daughters took it and ran away with it because one time one of my youngest daughter, she had my wallet. She took out like all the cards and junk. And like
Oh,
I could never find the card. Like I still haven't found one of the cards to this day.
yeah,
Like hide and seek, it's no problem for her. Like that's just another day. So
yeah.
for her, she's like, "Hey, I'm gonna show you a trick. Let's play hide and go seek and never find your wallet or your cards again." So that's
Yeah.
how my days be.
I'm laughing
But what's up?
because I'm laughing because I lost my keys for 2 days. I was looking for my keys, and I thought I gave it to my because a lot of people came to see my mother, so I like, Dad, go on, they ain't give me the keys back. So I'm blaming everybody. So I'm like, Dad, go on. And me, I keep forgetting that the pants that some of my pants, because I lost weight. So some of my pants, the pockets come through the front sometimes. Like if I pull my belt too tight. And I said, I was checking in my back pocket for something. I said, here go the keys. And I'm popping junk. I'm about to, because this lady said, yeah, somebody lost their keys in the hallway. I said, I must have dropped the keys in the hallway. So she was about to give me somebody else's keys. But I was like, I said, hold up, here go the keys. I ain't called nobody back yet and said, yo, I apologize. I found the keys. I ain't called them and say nothing yet.
It be like that sometimes.
Yeah, man. I'm like, yo, I felt kind of stupid too, because and what makes it so bad, I was standing outside my gate because our building is set up like a prison. It seemed like we got a gate, a security gate. Then the door is two doors. You got to you got a fob that you swipe to get in. So I'm standing outside. I gotta wait for somebody to go in or go out. And it just happened that yesterday, the time that I went out, everybody did they in and out for the day. So I was like, oh man, I'm standing there looking like a fool. So then somebody came through and the lady said, yeah, somebody dropped their keys. And I said, yeah, it could have been me. And she said, yeah, because I was telling the guy, I said, no, they're not mine, And if I see them, I'm gonna tell them that they maybe might have been yours. And I said, that gone. I said, I'm blaming everybody. I don't drop the keys and come to find out they're in my back pocket. I said, Dad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's exactly how it be.
yeah, be like that, man. But
Because my wife,
in my defense, it ain't that I forgot the keys. It's just that I put them in the wrong pocket. So it ain't no
right?
dementia. It's no old age or nothing. I put it in a. I'm like back pocket. I said, yeah, it's easy to because who really digs in their back pocket that much? I don't even put my wallet in the back pocket. I live in the hood. I don't see how people in the hood put their wallet in the back pocket because you like inviting somebody to dig in your pocket when they walk by.
That's a fact.
It's in the front pocket. You got to I'm really feel you digging in my pocket, so you getting got. Yeah. So you had something you wanted to talk about. That you was like, yeah, I want to talk about something. And you forgot. Uh-oh.
I mean, like I said before, I be acting crazy as heck sometimes. Like I be forgetful as anybody. So I don't even know. My days be misconstrued and all that and stuff like that. Like I thought today was Thursday, but it's Tuesday. Like
Shoot,
I've been all over the place. Huh?
I said I wish it was Wednesday. That's when I could go do my pay my bills and stuff. Yeah. pay all my bills and have me some extra spending. Me and my son supposed to hang out Wednesdays because he worked and that's his days off, Tuesday and Wednesday. He work at the parks. And I said, man, it's about to get going, boy. You talking about you working at that parks. And I think this is like his second week he'll be working there. But next week is Memorial Day weekend. So it's about to be on and popping. Oh, now
it's about to be summer.
Yeah. And I said, man, keep that mask on and be sure because something you don't know what's gonna pop off on this summer.
Oh no. Yeah.
You don't know what's
Hannah virus or whatever the heck coming out, supposedly. I just ran a red light, but I don't care.
You on the phone. See, you doing that stuff my wife be doing. I blame. Do not touch the phone and don't get in a deep argument with me while you driving.
Hey, that's
like, she be like, did I run through a red light? I said, you didn't know if you did or not? I said, I wasn't really paying attention. If I'm looking at my phone or something, because I'm lit, I said, daggone. I said, what the heck were you doing that you don't know that you ran through a red light? I said, oh my goodness.
Sure, I'm ghetto. We act like that red light didn't turn at all. We just keep going. Yeah. No, you still yellow. I saw a tinge.
Yeah, that's it. You see the yellow light, you're not slowing down. No, the yellow light means to hurry up. Better hurry up.
Yeah, that don't mean no slow down. That means go faster.
I see the bus driver do that. I said, yo, this bus driver ain't gonna keep this job for long. Not the way these, and especially in North, because they got cameras. Because soon as that red light hit, it takes a picture. This bus driver was hitting them red lights like it wasn't nothing. Like it was yellow, but he kept going. I said, yo, you wilding out.
Yeah, just keep it moving.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Did you hear about Loma?
No, what happened?
Loma is coming back. I think it said this fall. The Ring magazine confirmed it.
Oh wow. Yep. I kind of saw that. I knew he was gonna probably take some time off, and he probably gonna come back to Zuffa.
I think so too, because what it had said was like today was the end of his deal with what was he with again? Who was he with?
I think he was the one of them guys that signed with Steel City, the Climax Brothers or something like that. I mean the same guy who has Usyk, I think he was signed with.
Yeah, but what organization? Like what was it? It was the one that Tim Bradley used to broadcast with. I forgot what it's called, but he today was the end of his deal with them.
He was with Top Rank, wasn't he?
Yeah, Top Rank. That's it. Top Rank. Yeah, today was the end of his deal with Top Rank, and then it said in the caption that he's looking for big time fights. So I think he's gonna be going to Zuffa too.
That's crazy. Because with the only thing about Zuffa is they don't really have a lot of boxers yet. But the thing is, we're not really gonna get no really good. We're gonna have fights, but we're not gonna. It's gonna be like MMA. Everybody gonna be fighting everybody, but only the people that they got, and they don't have a large roster yet.
Not yet, but if you see the money that they're putting down for these people, it's
yeah. It's what it is. It's a hustle move. It's like you pay people good now, but the people that come after them, they're not getting that. Just like they're doing with the MMA. People don't see. I'm like, how can you look at the way MMA fighters are complaining and still go with that same brand? You can't. You know, that's how Dana's going to do it. He's going to pull you in and then start, giving you a little bit of nothing.
Yeah, because right now, it's like what they said. Because I was watching Adrian Broner and Dean the Great. They were they were doing some kind of sparring with Rampage Jackson, the MMA legend, and he was talking. They were making jokes and stuff like that about fighters' pay for MMA and everything like that. Because Rampage Jackson was like, "Oh yeah, y'all, you got some good kicks." He was talking to Dean and stuff like that.
Yeah,
He's like, "I could tell you done a little something before," and so like he was talking about like you could be a MMA fighter if you keep going with it. And Dean was like, "Nah, not that fighter pay," because Rampage was saying he was trying to convince him. He was like, "Fighter pay for MMA fighters is good," and they were like, and he was like, "Yeah, but it's that top 1%." Because you got to be the elite to get
yeah,
that kind of money. You got to be like a Israel Adesanya to be making that money. Anderson Silva, and even Anderson Silva wasn't making that great of money because he went to boxing.
yup, yup, yup. What's gonna make the most money ever made? What's the heavyweight, the muscular that dropped Tyson Fury? I forget his name.
Francis Ngannou.
Yeah, Francis Ngannou. He made the most money ever made. He said if you combine all his checks, he still would have made more, and that's crazy. That's
Well,
crazy.
Francis was Showtime. He was that top one elite percent when you think of like MMA, because like when you look at Zuffa and you look at any kind of organization that's headlined by Dana, like you've got like that top elite percentage, like the Conor McGregors of the world, the Israel Adesanyas of the world. Like if you don't promo yourself, essentially, like you're not making that type of bag like a boxer and stuff like that. Because what Rampage was trying to point at was like he was like, if you're we make more money than the up and coming fighters and stuff like that. And even if you're not that big, you can make more money than the up and coming boxers and everything like that. But it's like I don't know. There's still a huge disparity gap when it comes to fighter pay and boxer pay.
Yeah, but what he's saying is even in boxing, you don't get that much money if you're not like you're not uh got a good amateur career. Like if you're a decorated amateur, they gotta pay you according to what's going on with your amateur career. But if you're just a regular amateur, you probably got 30 wins and probably 10 losses or something like that. They're gonna pay you according to you. But like basic amateur is you get $100 a round. So if you're fighting 4 rounds or you're fighting 6 rounds, you're getting $600, depending on your employer. But if you're a talented person with accolades and you're decorated, you get like probably thousands. You get like 5,000, 10,000. My manager was getting me. I was getting like for 4 rounds, I was getting $600. I still seen that as a win because some people was getting 400, but I was decorated. But I seen that is a guy that I was more decorated than him. That he was. I found out he was getting paid more than me, and it just showed that it was still some type of animosity. Because my thing is, I fought the guy that was my stablemate, but I let one of my trainers talk me into going with the guy, and he wanted me to be a part of the team. But his thing is, I know he seen me as he can use me to get big money fights, and I said, nah. Once I seen what he was doing, I stepped. I stepped. Let me see. Blaze, pound for pound, salute. Appreciate you coming through. I know I asked you this question, but how do you feel? Because I made a post. How do you feel about the MMA fans telling us we're asking for too much?
Mm. Oh, you heard from MMA fans saying that?
Yeah, they say you're asking for too much. That's too much. And my thing is, how can you tell a boxing fan he's asking for too much when you're not really a hardcore boxing fan?
I
And
mean,
then you see them, they're real, they passionate, they want this, they want that.
yeah.
This is not represented right. You see what I'm saying?
I mean, it I couldn't imagine MMA fans even saying that a boxing fan is asking for too much when it comes to replication of sport in a game. Like, when MMA, you got varying degrees of like, you've got things that a lot of MMA fighters usually they'll copy a lot of styles that they see in boxing and stuff like that, and they'll try to integrate it within their sport with their style. And you've got fighters like Bobby Green who uses the iteration of the Philly shell. You've got Joaquin Buckley. He uses a iteration of the Philly shell. Jack Della Melena, however you say his name, he uses iterations of the Philly shell sometimes in his defense whenever he's like scurrying and stuff like that. So I mean, like it's kind of hard for me to ever understand why an MMA fan would ever say that a boxing fan is asking for so much. When you see a lot of MMA people integrate stuff of boxing into their sport, so it's kind of like there's varying degrees when it comes to MMA. Like they have a lot of stuff when it comes to elements. Like you got the ground game, you've got ground and pound, you've got stand up, you've got kicking, you've got punching, you've got you know uh sometimes they'll use the long guard. Not really, it's not super normal in MMA. They'll sometimes utilize the long guard, but like when it comes to like boxing, like you can't really say that a boxing fan is asking for too much when MMA fans, they're usually the various they're like like the most in denial, if anything, because they'll ask for a bunch of things and stuff like that. Because boxing, it's not, we don't ask for a lot. We ask for, what the sport is, replicates what how
Yeah,
you represent the sport. Like that's the whole point. You're supposed to iterate what the sport is. You're supposed to properly represent it. And so of course you're gonna ask for the things that resonate within the sport. But the thing is like when it comes to MMA fans and everything like that, like they'll ask for everything. They'll
yeah,
ask for everything under the sun.
yeah,
They'll ask for, oh, we want boxing, we want more boxing, we want more kickboxing, we want more jujitsu, we want more ground game, we want more wrestling, we want more takedown variations, we want
yeah,
more grappling. Like, they'll ask for a lot of stuff. So I
yeah,
could never really ever imagine or fathom MMA fans saying a boxing fan is asking for too much. Like
yeah,
if a person's saying that, that just means that they don't really know your sport well enough.
yeah, that's true. And my thing is, what B said made sense, but I know how the MMA changed its structure because there was a time when you could like the Ultimate Fighter when you had every style. Now it's like they don't took certain styles you can't use in the MMA. MMA is just like grappling and do certain things. But when we had the Ultimate Fighter, you were getting styles. Some people get knocked out or hurt real quick. Now it's like different. So I don't know. Is there a reason why they're not having all the styles? Do
I
they
think
feel some of
it's more about what works. Because when it comes to UFC fighter pay and stuff like that, like it's not much in comparison to boxing. And then of course, when it comes to like, getting treated for injuries and everything like that, you're gonna have more people who are more aware when it comes to how a sport can impact them health wise, especially if they're not getting the best treatment when it comes to their health. So like MMA already doesn't pay enough. And on top of that, even whenever you're a decent name, you're still not making, that top or 1% money and boxer pay either when it comes to comparison of financial realm. So you're going to have people who are more in tune of ways to be more defensively sound, defensive responsibility, so that way that they can avoid long-term damage like CTE and brain damage and stuff like that. So they'll look to more realms of what's going to make them successful for long term when it comes to financial, with also having the least impact when it comes to their health. So you're not going to see a lot of styles when it comes to MMA. You don't see a lot of brawlers and people who just they're going all in. Like, a lot of MMA nowadays is actually more technical than what it used to be. You see a lot of people really thinking. They're not just going in and exchanging. Of course, you have some of those MMA fighters who they're known for brawlers. That's just their style. That's what their DNA is. It's who ingrained in who they are. But nowadays, when it comes to mental health and everything like that, there's a huge awareness to what's going to impact you on a health health level when you're not getting fighter pay like a Conor McGregor or the top 1%. So you're going to be more in tune of what are things that is going to make your um health fine and good, while also still having longevity in the sport and being successful at the same time. So you're not going to have a lot of people who are stylistically, uh they're not going to be as hungry and stuff like that to get chase knockouts and stuff like that. They'll win off of a split decision victory, as long as their health is fine. Because a lot of fighters nowadays have brain damage from years, and they've had taken years of their life fighting in the sport for so long.
Yeah.
So you have more fighters nowadays more aware of what causes stuff like that, what causes CTE, what causes brain damage, what causes early death and stuff like that, what takes years off of your health, your life.
Yeah. This something out because I was going like with when Beast was saying something. He said that James Toney had a better defense than Floyd. I disagree because
Then Floyd.
yeah, I don't think James Toney had a better because look how James Toney talk and look how Floyd talk.
I mean,
That's the only proof you could use. How James Toney was getting touched because he wasn't talking like that in the early part of his career. So if you're getting hit, you start talking like James Toney. Floyd, he talks clear. People may say he can't read, but he talks clear.
yeah, I mean, I would say that on a defense level, James Toney was probably more versatile.
Yeah.
He had more, to the inside and inside game and things like that. Like he had he probably had a more entertaining Philly shell
Yeah.
than Floyd's iteration of the Philly shell, because Floyd definitely had the better defense of the two, because he wasn't getting hit nearly as much as most boxers do. So I mean, that's what he was known for. He was known for popularizing the sweet science and things like that, because he wasn't getting touched. He was able to, incorporate a style and make it into his own. Because of course he's not the one who came up with the Philly shell.
Yeah.
So he's the one, he integrated that within his style, and he had made use of it and he popularized it even more. Because he really wasn't getting hit. He could go on the inside and not get hit. He could be on the outside and keep you at distance and at bay. And it really didn't matter. You had a hard time touching him and catching him, because he had great reflexes. He had great timing. impeccable jab. His head movement was good. He had good footwork, good unilateral and bilateral movement. Like he was a great boxer when it comes to his defense. His defense was all world. He was technically sound, and he was never really getting hit by much when it comes to his opponents. For James Toney, he's known for being in brawls and getting into exchanges
Yeah.
and having like wars and stuff like that. Like he was a good, really really good defensive boxer, but at the same time he liked to fight. So he
Yeah.
was in the midst of the firing more than Floyd was. He was more into exchanges and stuff like that than a Floyd was. Floyd would let you air out all your energy and try to use all that volume to hit him and touch him and stuff like that. And then he'd start picking and pattering you, whether it was by one punch or he would select whenever he would decide to exchange and throw combos. But at the same time, Floyd's defense was another level just because of the fact that he really wasn't getting touched. But James Toney, he was getting touched. But at the same time, we see him as a defensive genius because he was still able to win. He was still able to utilize the, Philly shell, slip, and rip. Like he had great slips, and he was a, great boxer in my opinion. But at the same time, if we're talking on a defensive level, Floyd is another level.
Yeah. Dark Side said, no way James had better defense than Floyd. He was better at using the shell offensively, but Floyd was for sure better defensively. Yeah, that's basically what you just said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love James Toney too. I mean, I hope we have him in Undisputed too, if we can, properly, put him in the game. Because the slips that we have now, that's not James Toney to me. I don't see James Toney. But at the same time, like if we have James Toney and Undisputed too, I'd love he'd be one of my most used boxers. Because I really liked his style. I thought his style was unique. I thought his style was really fun. But I think that James Toney was a more entertaining boxer than Floyd was because Floyd was so technically sound and so good at not being touched and not being able to be reached. Like it didn't matter if you had height on Floyd, he'd still use his advantages to the best of his abilities and make sure that whatever you had, he had a game plan to make sure that your game plan wasn't working and you would have to switch up. And that's the thing. King was the full he was the king. Floyd was the king of making you have to switch up your game plan.
Because he'll adjust to it.
Exactly.
In a couple of rounds, he'll be on adjust to what was messing him up or getting him problems.
Yeah, because he could fight on the inside, he could fight on the outside, but he had the awareness and the wherewithal to understand I don't have to do all that in order to win. So, but James Toney, he don't care. He's coming to fight. He'll be in your face, slipping and dipping and doing the most. Like I remember, I saw his fight actually a couple weeks ago against Evander. This man is over in Evander's face, slipping and sticking his tongue out, throwing a straight jab, like slipping to the body. Like I mean, that was one of my favorite fights I've ever seen in my life. I've seen that fight probably like 5 times. But like that's such a fun fight just because James Toney was in his aura. He was in his bag. Like he was like, I'm here, man. I'm here. This is who I am. Like James Toney, he was a great fighter. He was a hell of a fighter, like Floyd would say. But at the same time, like if we're talking defense, James Toney was not near the defense of caliber of a Floyd Mayweather. All due respect.
Yeah,
but he was definitely a more entertaining stylistically boxer than Floyd was for sure.
You could tell it was entertaining because his speech would tell you, and I hate to say it like that. His speech would tell you. I'd be like, Dad, going. He told my BB talking about. I got CTE. I don't know where they're getting that from. I'm like, man, do you hear yourself talk? Do you hear yourself talk? People be thinking that you got CTE. I said, man, I've been talking like this since I was young. I say I just don't talk. The reason why I'm always overthinking my talks when I say something because I'm not a talker. Or they used to call me mumbles when I was young. So boxing had nothing to do with the way I talk. Or they call me country. You from the country? Man, I'm from the city. I said I'm a city boy.
No, I could definitely hear the accent when it comes to you.
What'd you say?
I could definitely hear the accent when it comes to you. Not the country accent. I don't hear no country, but I could definitely hear the Newark out of you.
Yeah, man. So I'm like wondering, how is Still City going to keep us entertained? I'm thinking they're gonna some type of tournament. They got to bring some type of tournament on.
I don't think they're gonna do a tournament. Not anytime soon.
They gotta do something to keep people engaged, especially for the holidays. What next week is the first day of summer, so they gotta do something to keep us engaged. They gotta keep us and I'm scared. See, I want to see what they working with, but I know what's gonna happen. I know it's gonna happen, and I know they scared that they got to do it. They might show us something. And if they show us a trailer or something like this, fans gonna start begging for it. And guess what? The investors gonna say they want it, give it to them. And then we're gonna go through the same cycle all over again.
I mean, I think that they're not gonna. I mean, I think they are going to end up showing a trailer sometime, probably at the end of this year, if I had to speculate, just because I think that they're a lot further along than the community actually knows. I believe that they've been doing a lot of things in secret, which had pointed to the Unreal Engine hires last year and stuff like that. Like they've been doing a lot of things under the, under the umbrella for quite some time now. So they really could have started, about a year ago, to be honest, and we just don't know. When it comes to the whole, game and stuff like that, they've known about desync and the game not being what a lot of people were enjoying in the state that it was in. They knew that people were not going to enjoy the game being left in the state. They've known this for a long time. Like before they even admitted it, they already knew about it. So I think that they've been working on the game for a lot longer than people think. Obviously, we want them to be patient with the process and developing it and making it the best that they can. But at the same time, like, I feel like they've also been sitting on this one for a while, and they just decided, like, no, we've kind of made some moves, we've kind of made some steps and stuff like that. And you know what? Now we're comfortable enough to be able to give y'all something when it comes to, we're not going to be doing any more updates or anything like that. But at the same time, like I said before, I feel like they've been doing this for maybe about a year. So, I mean, realistically, they could be a lot further along in the development process than really the whole community knows. And we could end up seeing a late 2027 release for this game. That's not completely out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah, that's true. Especially from what I hear about what Unreal Engine is capable of doing, it moves things along faster. And they making sure they tell us that they got a larger team than they have, so that helps move things faster too.
They got a larger team and they have experienced devs who have experience when it comes to dealing with Unreal Engine. So all that on top of having, the 80 plus other devs that they've added to the roster, like, I mean, I could definitely see things moving a lot longer or a lot faster than, what we're used to when it comes to them. Like right now, I feel like the community is used to just things being so long when it comes to updates or when it comes to any kind of conversation on terms of what's going on with the game and things like that. And because of that, we kind of have this, thought process that, it's going to be super, super long, or it's going to be delayed, or it's going to be longer. It's probably going to be 2 years, 3 years. So it's just, I think that's because we're kind of conditioned when it comes to the way that these devs operate, and it usually ends up being on the longer term when it comes to handling issues or development stuff. So I think that honestly, a year from now, uh, I would even go as far as maybe even the late fall of next year. We could end up having the game. I don't think that they're going to do early access just because they know how it is when it comes to listening to a certain portion of their community. I'm not going to say the whole community because there's a lot of the people in the community that deserve to be heard, and they have good critiques and they have good opinions on where the game needs to be and what needs to be implemented into the game to make the game overall better. But at the same time, with the way that they're probably thinking logically, they're probably thinking like, if we keep listening to a whole lot of the community, we're gonna end up probably delaying it because we're gonna feel like what we have now is never gonna be enough. So ultimately, they're probably gonna just not do the early access. They might do a beta, but that's probably not gonna be for until it's closer to the date of when full release happens. So I'd say we could probably see a late fall release, 2027 at the earliest when it comes to release.
Yeah, that's going. I'm just wondering how they're gonna stretch it out. That's one thing. They got to do something in between that to keep people going. Cause you got all these other games, they moving and stuff. So I don't know. I don't. Oh, they better hope what's going don't have a boxing mode in it. What's that? Grand Theft Auto.
Dang well, Grand Theft Auto ain't gonna have no dang boxing mode.
Yeah, you could go to a gym. You could go to a gym and box and stuff. And one of the games, I forget which one it was, because I ain't played in a while. Oh, I saw my son playing. They got boxing in this.
And they're not gonna have it. That is not gonna have a boxing mode.
You hope they ain't got no boxing mode in there. Don't do that to us. You're gonna make us want more.
We're gonna ask for Rockstar to make the next boxing game. Yeah. Instead of 2K, how about Rockstar make the next boxing game?
But that's weird. I'm still gonna say that's weird because I was saying all the companies that need to be a part of Steel City. I say everybody except for EA. They got EA, 2K, and Rockstar. That's crazy. The 3 top games. I'm like,
oh yeah.
I'm like, so what you're saying? Hey, Pro, you talking slick? All right, we're gonna show you something. We got Rockstar, 2K, and EA. But that to me, that don't really mean anything. It gotta be the proof in the pudding because what did they work on? That's what I should have looked at. What games did they work on? What experience do they got? I think I'm gonna make that a project. I shouldn't have said it out loud because they probably listening. They're gonna be like, "Oh, this Joker, he's easy. Let me hide my account so this Joker don't be all up in my business." Yeah, but yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
They got all the heavy hitters. They made sure that they had all the names that was gonna make this project sound like it's gonna end up being really, really good. So I mean, there's a lot. It's not even an expectation at this point. It's about just prove yourself. Like I think that a lot of the community is kind of in a state of like, we're not gonna rush you. We're not gonna tell you that we need the game now and stuff like that. But at the same time, like when that product comes, it better deliver. Like this
Yeah.
is your last
No
opportunity.
excuses.
There's no third chance.
Yeah, no excuses. But you and Mama Leaf, y'all both very optimistic. Me, I'm on the fence. I'm not optimistic. I'm just on the fence because I know our companies can do. I don't want to get my expectations too high, and then I'll be like bees. I'll probably be worse than bees. I don't want to be like, oh man, y'all had all this time and y'all this what we got. Be snapping and jump. Then I get banned on everything. Banned on Twitter, banned on this, banned on that. This guy terrorist, he makes terroristic threats.
I mean, I'm not optimistic. I'd say it's cautious optimism because from what I'm hearing, it sounds good, but at the same time, it's like there's been a lot of things throughout the state of Undisputed One that sounded good. Like whenever people were saying Ash was coming to the studio and he was angry about where the game was, that sounded good. Whenever Sean Porter first was talking about he was going to interview Ash, that sounded good. So it's like I've heard a lot of things that sound good, which there's the reasoning as to why there's cautious, but the optimism comes from the fact that there's a lot more when it comes to the development scale. Like they're not doing it themselves. They actually have people who have experience in this game development designing space. They have Rockstar. So who knows? That story mode could have a lot to do with those Rockstar hires. So that means the story mode could be a lot better, which is going to be a great win for the offline community because now they have Rockstar, now they have 2K, two companies specifically that have been known for really, really good story modes and stuff like that, and EA, of course. But at the same time, there's also that air of caution just because the way that they've chosen to communicate with their community throughout time, it's never been really, really that consistent, nor has it really been great at the same time. So it's like there's optimism, sure, to an extent, but I wouldn't say it's to the point where I'm oblivious to the past of the way that they've handled things. And because the way that they still choose to handle things as far as the communication scale with the community and just the way that they've moved in the past, I still have that that sense of cautiousness when it comes to these devs, because at the same time I want them to win, but at the same time they have to want it for themselves. You can't want it more for them.
Yeah, facts. Yeah. Oh no, man. Let me see. Let's see what they're saying in the chat. Y'all just came in the chat just to sit there and not communicate. Let me see how many people I got just sitting there. Let me see. Because Dark Side came through. It's 6 people here. Yo, y'all ain't got no questions, no nothing. Y'all want to ask? I got 7 minutes on the waste though. Let me see what I was gonna ask you. What do you? I'm gonna talk about some UFC.
Wow! What?
Yeah, I know. But I'm gonna mix it in with boxing. I'm gonna mix. What do you think? Let me see. What you think? Do you think EA is going to make a boxing game after they finish the UFC? That's how I'm talking about it.
Not for another 4 to 5 years. I think that there's just too much that goes into the whole scale. Like you have, of course, them being bought out by that Saudi investment company and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's like how much are they really invested into making another boxing game? Because historically they stop for a reasoning. So when it comes to, first of all, the UFC 6 game isn't sim. It's like a very archaic somewhat sim kind of game. So it's like it's got simulation as far as, you know, the fighters fighting like how they do in real life. They have the fighters, you know, stylistically they look great when it comes to, you know, the way that they move, the way that they fight and everything like that. But it's very archaic, the way that they strike, the way that the game flows. It's super fast. It's very archaic pace. Like it's almost like you're fighting at Dragon Ball Z sometimes, from what I've seen. Like it's super archaic. So if we're asking EA to deliver a boxing game, is the expectation that they're going to do a sim game when it comes to them making a boxing game? Because if we're asking for them to make a sim boxing game, I don't think they're gonna ever deliver. Because I feel like UFC 6 was kind of their point of like, this is just who we are at this point. This is like, you're gonna take it or you're gonna leave it. Like we're not gonna ever fully go into sim. That's just not what our style is. Like they still didn't work on really the footwork in terms of making the footwork look better. Instead of it having this gliding sliding effect, it still looks like, you know, prior UFC games. So do we really have the expectation for them to ever deliver a boxing game for the sim boxing emulation community? Like, is it really going to be representative of the sport to the way that it needs to be for boxing fans to be happy with the product?
Yeah. I don't know. Let me see. Precisely say, hopefully the soundtrack is the next game is fire, and the next game is fire. But that was messed up. Remember they got what was the name of that them producers? I forget the name of them. But they had some good producers, and I guess they said we don't need them. We just do our own thing. Because I'm pretty sure we would have had a fire soundtrack if they would have did their thing. That what's the name of not the Justice League. Was it Justice League? Justice League. I think it was the Justice League producers, but they were supposed to do it. Darkseid said UFC 6 is Poe's favorite phrase. Arcade sim hybrid. It's an arcade sim hybrid. Yeah.
Do you think EA is gonna ever deliver and make a boxing game return?
Yeah, I think they're gonna make another boxing game. I think because the Saudis, they love boxing, and what Turkey was saying, that if there's more than one boxing game, he'll support them all. So that right there, because the Saudis, they love boxing. I'm precisely said we need underground boom bap rap like Apathy, Vinnie Paz, and Evidence. Yeah, we need some hip hop. We need some Wu-Tang. I can get my man to get Wu-Tang in there.
Shoot, technically, we have hip hop technically in this game soundtrack. Lupe Fiasco.
That jump, man. That jump. Man,
I mean,
I'd rather listen to
kind of poppy.
I'd rather listen to I got $1. That's it, all I want. I'd rather do that.
Of course
And I wasn't really a big fan. Just it's one of them songs you hear so much that you just gravitate to listening to it. Let me see. Lamont Davis said, "Yo, Poe, what are your thoughts about the development of Undisputed 2?" Let me see. Dad, I'm trying not to put too much thoughts in it because Steel City, they unpredictable to me right now because I don't know what the new team is gonna do. I don't know. All we hearing is from Fanatical. And Fanatical, that's the brother. That's my guy. But Fanatical, he could sell snow to a Eskimo. Because Fanatical, he be liking some stuff, and I'd be like, hey, Fanatical, man, you know that ain't really that good. But he likes certain things, and it make even the Westcom, like I told Jev, because Jev, I talk to him a lot when I get a chance. And Jev with his 2D boxer game, he was like, he didn't like that I didn't like his game, but I said it's not really the game I don't like. I'm not a 2D gamer. And my thing, if I, the passion that I put behind what I want, if I say, hey, I like this game and stuff like that, then companies that see me as passionate say, oh, so he don't really want what he say he want. He's okay with a 2D. So my thing is I gotta stay on my stance about I want a realistic boxing game that represent boxing fully. Yeah, I like everything he's doing for the 2D boxing game. If I didn't like it, I wouldn't have shared it because I shared it with ESPN. I showed it to all them networks and stuff. I hope it don't get him in trouble because he got some stuff like he got a knockoff version of what they is, but I was trying to get them more notice, like IGN, Operation Sports, Sports Gamer Online. I was trying to get them avenues. Let me see. Dark Side say Undisputed 2 presentation needs a major upgrade from the dull presentation down. Exactly. 100%. And please don't let the boxers just be standing in one spot. Boxing should be shadow boxing or hitting a bag or something. Make it more interesting. Precisely said, yeah, the presentation and the Undisputed 1 needs to be bright and vibrant with a blue lighting effect with lights from a boxing arena or something like that. It gotta look like something like boxing, like you're backstage or you're in a room preparing for your fight. That's how it should look. And we need chrome effects in the letter fonts. Man, y'all shout out, man. He said we need chrome effect, but the letterings need to look more. The presentation needs to just need a bump up. He said, give a fight night champion feel almost haha. Yeah, haha. Man, I don't get no type of fight night. It's some stuff I see from fight night that I would, and I know that's a lot coming from me. I see a lot of things in fight night that they can steal or take that will make, and they need to bring back the what's called, but it should be an option. The that meter that we had, the I forgot what we called it, but bring back that adrenaline meter. But it should be like if you want it on screen or not, it's on you. Competition, it shouldn't be there. Yeah, if you got competition, it shouldn't, everything shouldn't be there. And we should be in an era that when y'all fighting, there should not be no bars on the screen. There should be no indications. You should be able to read your opponent in competitive, because they keep talking about competitive gameplay. That is competitive gameplay. When you sit up there, you're fighting somebody. It shouldn't be a bar fighting. You're trying to get that guy bar to go down lower and lower and lower. That's not real boxing. You fighting the guy. You're trying to figure out, Dad, did I hurt him? Did if it's the character grunt or you see him look like he's breathing heavy? That's what we should have in a game. That's what we should be having in the game in this day and age. That's competitive boxing. I'm about to end the show because we got past the 2 hour mark. You know, you got something you want to say, Aaron?
Nope, I think we've touched on just about everything for today.
All right, I appreciate you, man, coming through. I know it's late. And I appreciate you, Dark Side, for coming through, man. I know you came in late, and I wanted to, stay a little later, so we could talk. But I did 2 hours, and I don't, I got things I want to try to do. And like I said, I'm my mom's caretaker, so I got to make sure that she's okay. So, and y'all keep my mom's in your prayer, man.
Definitely keeping y'all in my prayers.
All right, thank you, man. All right, until the next show, y'all. Peace, man. Peace.
Peace.